Alrighty-roo. Let's do this thing. It lives! Fantastic. Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. I'm so excited. Yes, so welcome to the post-show of the Snowocalypse. All of these shows will get better names in time. It's just that I'm really bad at thinking of those sorts of things, and, yeah. Welcome, everybody. Good to see you as always. Ah, dear. Cool. I'm very excited. I've been looking forward to this all week. First of all, a health warning. If you have not seen... This goes for people on Twitch and on YouTube later on. If you have not seen all of the episodes of the Snowocalypse from Session 1 currently, go pause this, go over there, catch up, come back. Because this is Spoiler City. I will talk about in detail everything that happened in that session. And then I will spoil things in, like, further on places where stuff that may not even happen. Characters we haven't met yet. I have ideas for them, and I shall go through all that too. It's going to be very exciting. Yes. So, without any further ado, let's get into it. So, Apocalypse World. Very specific thing of how you it's one of the few role-playing games of its kind that has very specific rules about how you should run your very first session of it. And indeed, you start with this. This, if I can zoom out a touch, is the Session 1, like, worksheet for the MC, Master of Ceremonies, or moi. In it, we can see all of the assorted people. So in the middle I've got my PCs and their resources. So we've got Stein, the Savvy Head, Lux, the Driver, Tudor, the Hocus, and Midnight, the Skinner. Yeah, and then in it, around that, I chuck in every NPC and thing that they meet that may come up. Yeah, so we've got... And I put them in a place according to what I think the need they represent is. So over on this side, we've got Dremmer and Rourke. So Dremmer was one of the two morons who helped Lux and Stein get stuff out of that vault. And he's kind of over there because I don't really know what else to do with him. But the only way I can see him being a threat to the PC is through to him being stupid. Rourke, on the other hand, he's represented by ignorance because he doesn't care. He is in it purely for self-gratification. That's just where he lives as a result. He's ignorant of the wider world, and he likes it that way. Meanwhile, if we move down to Fear, I've got the psychic miasma, which is what I'm referring to for that black goopy stuff that the Hocus Tudor like pushed off of the guy East Harrow, and it's that has slightly latched to our dear Midnight. And it's going to inevitably cause them a lot of problems. Yeah, so we go around in Wintermute, the facility that Stein saw in his Stein saw in his vision when he psychically touched the mind of the humanoid wolf. Then we've got the Tudor Court, which is the cult of Tudor, obviously, and also Greg the welder, who's his buddy. These guys are over in despair, and their despair threatens the PCs because if the court freaks out, they're going to tear Tudor apart. Like, that's their MO. And anyone who gets in their way, which hopefully will be these people, if Tudor's lucky. Over here in Envy, we have Cecil, mayor of Cecil Road, and Barker, who was the other guy, the one who was out in the snow when Lux and Stein rolled up. Now, Barker I put over here kind of because... So this is the way that I really like Apocalypse World, is that in the very first session, Jamie, as the player of Stein, rolls a 7 to 9 when attempting to assist Lux. In doing so... I say too much. In doing so, he what he did was he exposed himself to an element of danger. I don't really want to get, like... He was threatening a guy who was basically, like, freezing cold and among friends. So I don't really want to get too heavy-handed with it. So what I decided to do was I just on the spot, decided that Barker, 1, likes Lux to some lesser or greater degree, and 2, is jealous of Stein's close relationship with Lux. So then I chucked him in envy. And then finally, up here, in ambition, we have Parcher, the head of food production, who has, if you remember when I asked Tudor where Tudor's weaknesses lie within Cecil Road, he said that the guys down in food production, where he couldn't really get an angle in there. So, this guy was like the kind of old grizzled man in charge of it, so I'm going to make him a very ambitious, like, power-hungry old coot. And then also Sheriff, who was Cecil's lawman, head of kind of the town police, as it were, as much as a post-apocalyptic town has police. So yeah, these are kind of the people we met during the first session. And so now, what we have to do is we have to sort them into what are referred to as fronts. What is a front, I hear you cry? Well, doo-ba-doo. This is a front when it focuses it. So, what we have here is that we take our front, give it a name, we say what need it expresses. So this is the expresses, what fundamental need this expresses. So this will be fear or hunger or something along those lines. Then we type in the dark future or agenda of the front. Now these can be like the dark future of, say, let me think, the Tudor court, like, or maybe, I don't know, I'll get to those in a minute. We type in there, like, kind of how, if this is allowed to proceed, what happens, like, as it all breaks down and goes crazy. Description and cast is a little bit of info about the front, and also all of the NPCs and PCs involved in it. Oh, thank you, Conflict Now, for hosting for the one viewer. And then finally, stakes questions are where I put down some questions that I don't yet know the answer to. So, for instance, I might, for instance, when we talk about the vault and all the plants and stuff we found in there, I will have in that stake question, who put that there? Because I don't yet know. And the players may have a better idea than me, and we'll find out during play. And it's interesting for me to go in there with my own questions, because it means that I don't always have to push towards revelations. It opens up for us. And then we divvy each front up into a few threats. Each of these threats has its own name, has a kind, which are, it can be one of 5 types. These types are weather, a warlord, a grotesque, a landscape, an affliction, and a brute. Within each of these, there's about 6 kind of subtypes, and they all have kind of their own moves and stuff like that, like that you can set up. So, for instance, there are in the warlords, you can have either a slaver, whose impulse is to own and sell people, a hive queen, whose impulse is to consume and swarm, a prophet, whose impulse is to denounce and overthrow, a dictator, whose impulse is to control, a collector, whose impulse is to own, and an alpha wolf, whose impulse is to hunt and dominate. Nice people. They also have their own moves, of such as the warlord, when I make a move for them, that can be to outflank someone or corner someone, to attack someone suddenly and very hard, to make a show of force, to make a show of discipline, or to maybe buy out someone's allies, a few others. So I group people into threats like that. So Cecil will be a warlord and probably will be a dictator. His impulse is to control and maintain hold of his town. Whereas the black psychic miasma stuff, it might be more of an affliction, and its impulse is to spread or to cause chaos. Like, that might be why it's trying to drive people insane. I don't yet know all these answers, and hopefully, like, I'm gonna kind of get there with the help of you guys. But the first front I want to do, let me pull up my chat quickly. This one. I am DMing. Kaj. I'm DMing for a game called the Snowocalypse. Oh man, you really should. If you go down into the panels below, you'll find a link to my YouTube channel. The first session of our game is right there. We've got character creation at the front and then a few hours of actual play. Check it out. Yeah, I shouldn't read the chat so much during this. We'll find our own pattern, it'll be fine. Okay, so, yes, we're going to set up something around Cecil Road, because that's where the majority of the action is going to... Oh, let me go get the right fonts and stuff. No. God damn it. Copy! Over here. So, Control-V. So, we're going to call this Cecil Road for now. We'll leave it like so. And this expresses... What does this express? So I think what Cecil Road expresses is decay. Because every side is positioned in different ways. Like Cecil is a competent leader, but to maintain, he's too over-energetic, and to maintain control of his hold, he might squeeze too tightly, and just and whereas Sheriff has ambition to have more power, but he's a violent man, and my impression of him so far is he's very good at killing people, but not much good at anything else. Whereas, I mean, if the entire court is wiped out, while that's great for Cecil's authority, it means that there's no experienced workers, like the guys who run kind of each industry would all die. So I think this expresses decay. That's what I'm going with right now. So this expresses decay. Do let me know if you can't read it or anything. Just, so I make sure I'm doing this right. So the dark future agenda that this expresses is the collapse of Cecil Rhodes society, and the death of the majority of its inhabitants. Like, this is like the largest city in the area. So if Cecil Road goes down, it's basically the equivalent of, if it were in the UK, like London just turning into a riot-filled, like, and then only a few people making it out alive. It's, yeah, so it's collapse of Cecil Road society and the death of the majority of its inhabitants. Right, so description and cast. So in here we have the Tudor Court, we have Cecil, we have Sheriff, we have Parcher. This will include all the members of the Tudor Court, including Greg. Yeah, the Cecil Lion stuff is a little awkward at the moment. I didn't quite realise that was happening. Oh well. Who else is in there? Let's have a quick check. Have I missed anybody? Yeah, I think I'll do that for now. These are the big movers and shakers in the town, the ones who are going to cause that kind of stuff to happen. So, threat 1 is Cecil. That's annoying. I'll be... Yeah, Cecil. Mayor Cecil. Okay. And his kind is, he is a warlord, but he is also, on top of that, a dictator. Oh, why are you not typing? Dictator. So his impulse, there we go. Can't type. Oh, where's my fronts just vanished? His impulse is to control. Cool. Oh, whoops. I've done it silly. So let's copy that, paste that here, delete all that, delete that bit. Delete that. Cool. Okay. So let's copy this bit and the description cast here. So the guys involved in this, obviously there's Cecil, his private security. Rourke is definitely a lead member in the private security. Like, just that feels right to me. Sorry, I'll pull my chat back up. Who else would be in here? Obviously, Tudor is in. Oh, what the? Tudor is sort of involved here. Yeah, I think that's it, and maybe Midnight. We'll give Sheriff his own one because I think that will be a little different. Okay. So I don't think this guy has any particular custom moves. He's a shrewd manipulator, and he's gathered powerful people around him who he keeps happy, so that's kind of his deal at the moment. I don't think he's particularly special. Or maybe he's just unflappable. Maybe you can't threaten Cecil. The thing like you cannot go aggro on Cecil. You can, Dylan, you can. I think that might be it. So yeah. So if you remember, I'll show you quickly. The basic move, go aggro. When you go aggro on someone, you roll plus hard. On 10 plus, they have to choose. They force your hand or suck it up, or cave and do what you want. So that means that going aggro on a person is threatening them. It's trying to get them to do what you want using force. Like you say, I will shoot you in the face if you don't do what I want, and then you shoot them in the face if they don't do what you want. Maybe you just physically cannot affect Cecil with violence. Cecil, when you go aggro on Cecil, it's not because he's like weird or creepy or psychic or anything. It's just because he's just stone cold. Stone cold. Or is it that, or is it that he's single-minded and you can't seduce and manipulate him? Because that'd be an interesting one, but then that would hard nerf Midnight. And I don't really want to take away Midnight's main method of maneuvering on an NPC. If she just can't manipulate Cecil. I'll put a pen in that. Manipulate. Yeah. We'll think about that one. Because I'm not sure yet. Okay. So, our countdown. So the countdown works in this way. It's basically these countdowns are the same way the health bar works. In that, as you tick through them, the idea is that you're moving closer and closer to Doomsday. It's based off the old Doomsday clock from the Cold War era of we are 20 minutes to midnight of everything on the planet dying. So the way it works is that in these three sections, so 12 to 3, 3 to 6, 6 to 9, you have kind of stuff that is stoppable. It's all haltable in some way. Whereas once you get past 9, there's no way to stop it. You can just do damage control. Maybe. Maybe. So, the idea is that I like it. Okay. So, what will be with the start of Cecil's kind of ticking towards going to war on his own people? Like, because I think the finale is that he gathers together like sheriff, his private security, and he like wipes out, systematically starts wiping out threats to his authority, which is probably Tudor and his court. So, that's fine. You guys can... 1 second. Appreciate the effort. Okay, so... yeah. What? So I think one of his things is... so he starts with... perceives a threat to his authority. Right? Like, that's a thing that's already happened as well. Draw shape, so we just go boop. Nice little purple there. So the next thing he does... So the next thing that he would do is that he would attempt to... He's going to attempt to cut off... always, is to limit the threat. So I think... he's going to recruit Parcher. I think that's his plan next. His next step. Because we already know after Joe failed the role while they were having dinner together, he discovered that we discovered that he knew that the place that Tudor was weak was with this food production. And with this man Parcher. So that's where he's going to go next. So that's what he's up to at the moment, behind the scenes. I don't think he wants to kill them yet, because Tudor's still useful to him. So he wants to keep Tudor, and especially the court around, because the court, like, run the industry. Like, as I said, Greg is basically, like, the guy who runs all of the welders. And, like, metal welding is pretty useful when you live in underground shelters that survive snowstorms that could freeze a car that's running. So, because they're PCs, obviously this won't stop them. So I think the next thing... No, it won't kill a member of the court. Make an example of a court member. That's what he's going to do. At 9, he will make an example of a court member. And if that doesn't stop Tudor, if this isn't like the point that Tudor stops, he's going to go to war. I don't know exactly what that's going to look like yet. But that's going to be... This is where it gets heavy. He's going to, like, hit this point and he's going to start going after him. Okay, cool. That's Cecil's plan of action. Oh, absolutely. Cecil's a bastard. But bear in mind that there are no nice people in Apocalypse World. They're all dicks. I love them. Okay. I don't really know how the Tudor court's going to work yet, so I'm not going to... I won't put it in yet. Okay. Let's have... I think Sheriff is in here. Am I spelling Sheriff right? I feel I'm spelling Sheriff wrong. God damn it, Ingy. Okay, so yeah, there's Sheriff. As Ingy correctly pointed out, Cecil is a cock. Hey. Okay. So Sheriff is going to be... What's he going to be? I think... that Sheriff is a dictator and alpha wolf. So his impulse is to hunt and dominate. Seems legit. Right. This is what he wants. He wants to own Cecil Road. He wants everyone to know that he's in charge and that he's above them. Okay. Sheriff. And the Sheriff's Department. So that's going to be like his boys. Bunch of big violent bastards. It's going to be good. It's going to be good. Okay. Now I think Sheriff just has a very basic custom move. I'm definitely spelling this word wrong. It's just getting longer every time, I swear to God. Can't spell that word. Okay, that's his plan. So. So I think Sheriff's plan Perceive weakness in an organization. Yeah, there we go. I think Sheriff would... Yeah, I think we'll see that when we get there. These clocks can advance at one at a time. If he sees weakness in the Tudor court first, he'll go after the Tudor court. But he's going to basically hunt down and systematically take out people until he's top dog. Which will at some point pit him against Cecil. But it very much depends on if he's up against Cecil or whether he's up against Tudor first. Indeed, any of the others, like... This is the thing, though, because we have two other PCs who are members of the court, both Midnight and Lux. So if those are the weak links, that's where he's going. Yeah. I think intimidate them into following him. So I think Sheriff style, whereas, for instance, Cecil will be like, okay, I see this is where Tudor is weak, so I'm going to recruit Parcher onto my team as like either a spy or a holdout to ensure that Tudor can't gain control, so he can hold Tudor in check. Sheriff style is to find the weak link and lean on it till it does what he wants. And just take stuff from it. Attacks HQ of weak org. That's going to be his plan. His 9 o'clock is that he takes it over. And then the next few of his are going to be him systematically going through and getting all Nolan Joker on the inhabitants of the organization. I think that's... I don't know exactly how that course of action is going to go yet, so I won't put it in yet, but I think that's how it's going to work. Right. And then we have Parcher. Now, what's Parcher's plan? Does he have a plan? Who knows? I don't fucking know yet. That's why I'm working this out with you people. It's great, isn't it? I love this. Oh, so good. The scheming. It's great. Ooh. I like that. I like that a lot. Maybe, is there a... You know what? I'm not going to put him here. I think he may become a front, but right now I haven't got a plan for him. Who I'm going to put here, one second, pull this back up again, is going to be, because this is another person vying for power within these areas. So that's the Psychic Miasma. But we're going to have the guy who controls it. Who I need a code name for, because we don't know who it is yet. Although we have a strong suspicion he's on the Tudor court, because of the vision we saw of the miasma kind of coming off of East Harrow and like seemingly sourced from one of the knights. The level of my eye. Don't know what. So what will I call this guy? I'll call him the Miasma Psychic for now. And that's very easily given me my first state question. Who is the Miasma Psychic? Hello! Okay. Yeah, this is a question we'll find out. Like, I need to meet the rest of the Tudor court before I'll know who the Miasma Psychic is. And that's might be the Miasma Psychic. Not quite. That's going to be on Tudor and Joe to tell me about that person. So, the Miasma Psychic is most definitely a grotesque. Now, can I... if I move this over here, does it show you on OBS? It does. Fantastic. So let's have a look here. So these are the grotesques. You go away. How do I get you to go away? Here we go. Boom, boom, boom. These are grotesques. Oh, God damn it. So there's cannibals, mutants, pain addicts, disease vectors, mind fuckers, and perversions of birth. I think this guy is a perversion of birth, whoever they are. Like, mindfucker kind of fits right on the term, but with the impulse. This perversion of birth, isn't it? Yeah. The warlords and the brutes are like the nicest people in the Apocalypse world. Everyone else is just like straight up disgusting. So, perversion of birth. So their impulse is to create chaos. And this one, they're waiting for their opportunity, aren't they? That's what they're doing. They're waiting for someone to, like, show them a need for their talents. So the description and cast is just that. It's the Miasma Psychic. We don't know who they are yet. But we do know, not Tudor, Midnight is slightly, yeah, infected with it. It's gonna be fascinating. So that's where they are, and we'll put East Harrow in here too, because he was an ex-infectee. We don't know exactly if anything strange has happened to East Harrow, with the results of this being coated in this strange, like, iron shell of psychic power. Custom move. I have an idea for this, but I don't want to intuit that. I don't want to get into it yet. Like, I might go into a thing of having a specific when exposed to miasma stuff. Yeah. Here we go. When exposed to the miasma. Yeah. So when you first sleep, because we had already East Harrow was having dreams, right? He was having dreams of murdering his own family. So evidently we've got to link it to sleep. That's what I said. And I think there's literally a thing in the Apocalypse World book. I've got to link it back into the way I do it. So when you first sleep, after being exposed to the miasma. Now, do I make this just a force of will thing, or do I make this a purely psychic thing? To make it a purely psychic thing, I'm a dick over Midnight. But if it's a force of will thing, it'd be act under fire. You first sleep after being exposed to miasma. Roll plus. I think it's either or. Maybe no. We'll roll plus cool. Because I think once you have it, it's biological. Right. You've the disease is in you. And then we do. So, we have a 10 plus, we have 7 to 9, and we have a fail. Ugh. God, these boxes are a little small. Roll plus cool. So, once again, I'll pull up, let's get Lux's stat sheet. So, these are the 5 stats. So, rolling plus cool is hitting this button, and then rolling plus cool. So they rolled a 3 and a 4, but they get 8 because they add their cool. So that's how you roll plus cool. So that's the act under fire. It's usually used for avoiding danger, and like the fire might be as I say, it's used for everything from. I think there's literally a description of the stats somewhere. Let me show you while we're here. Here we go. Cool, meaning cool under fire. Calm, rational, clear thinking, calculating, and unfazed. So that's... Oh, whoops. Yeah, so there we go. Oh my god, I've already been going for like 45 minutes. So, on 10 plus... No, you go back down. Don't want you here yet. So on 10 plus... I don't think no effect. Dormant. Yeah. So you can only get this after something bad happens to you, so... 3 of these cures you. There. I think that's good. 7 to 9... Or 7 to 9 will do... You have bad dreams. Clock advances. Fail. On a fail, what happens? What happens? What happens? What happens to you when you fail your resistance against this crazy goop? I think that you... No, well, yes, a whole quarter. 12 to 3 is one jump, 3 to 6 another jump, 6 to 9 is the next. After that, you go 1, 2, 3. So, on a fail, you wake up elsewhere, covered in blood. There. It's cool, right? Okay. Clock advances. Yep. So we're going to have some fun with Midnight. Tick 1 is exposure. Well, that's the thing, it's a psychic disease. It may not even be real blood. It may be a hallucination. We'll see. So, exposure is 1. Dun. The Miasma Psychic becomes aware of you. And your fears. There. That seems fun to me. Let's just shrink this text down a size so I can actually read it. I'm going to swap those, actually. Psychic learns your secrets. So yeah, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to swap out this one. Where have you? I'll take that bit out. Here we'll put... You commit violent acts in your sleep. Let's do... So this one here is... the psychic learns your fears. So I want to just straight up kill people. Yet. I might do a second version of this custom move if once a person gets to 9. Because then it's like you've got no chance of curing this stuff. It's like ingrained into your brain. You're so like that they have such deep roots within your psyche that they're just gonna straight up fuck you up. No, I don't want that. I want draw shape. And that's midnight. I don't have a token for midnight. Can I put a little M in here? Select. Let's delete that. Let's get a tiny little text. Mid. Oh. Select move this one. Let's make this super tiny. I said super tiny. Yeah, there we go. Okay, cool. I'm done with this one for now. There's one more one I want to cover, I think, live. And then I will probably leave it for now. Yeah. Actually, no, there's two I want to cover, but these two should take a little less time. So, we'll first do this one, which is, this is going to be... small world, big egos. This is going to feature expresses fear. Dark future is bad people have their way. Okay. Description cast. We'll definitely put Rourke in here. Like, this is definitely where Rourke belongs. He's a bastard. Rourke is just a very unpleasant little man. We'll put Barker in here as well. I think we'll put Greg the Welder in here. As much as I like Greg, I think he's a little bit hot-headed. Barker, Dremmer, Greg the Welder. Oh, no. So the front is not physical. It is... So imagine it's kind of like... The idea is that it's a player-facing front of threats. So these fronts face onto people and they're like... The threats that are closing in on them. It's just... It's a conceptual thing for me to organize my thoughts on how these are... This world is attacking the players. And like, when they screw up or get a partial success, it lets me advance one of these things of like... So when Tudor doesn't quite follow through on his ways of like trying to rein in Parcher, it means that Cecil will have the opportunity to recruit Parcher. I see those. It's how I decide what the consequences of failing rolls are. Okay. So, Rourke actually. Cecil's security squad. And there, Barker and Drummer. Cool. So up here we will have Rourke's... what's the word? It's not gluttony. Gluttony's just for food. Avarice is for money. I'm just going with perversions. This guy's not a pleasant man, and he's going to be... And this guy, I definitely want him to be... let's zoom out. Get down to my... Where is it? Not affliction. Ooh, I might do a little moving around of the way I've set out my some of my fronts, but I'll let you know about that the next time. So he's going to be a brute, and these guys are going to be enforcers. To victimize anyone who stands out. Yes, perfect. Perfect. I love it. Enforces. Which, if you have you been following, is basically all the PCs, except maybe Lux. But you've got the creepy prophet who performs miracles down the local pub. You've got Midnight, the A-list celebrity of this world. And then finally you've got Stein, who's just kind of a bit odd. He's a bit of an oddball genius. Lux is just kind of, she's your average everyday Cecil Road citizen. She runs a business, but at the same time she's practical, she's down to earth, she drives cars, kind of stuff. The rest of them, fucking whack nuts. I'm excited. Victimize those who stand out. Okay, so this is going to have Rourke, Cecil's security. I'm trying to think whether Rourke is the head of this security stuff or not. It's no fun if I don't challenge the PC's lives. People's lives are interesting, and trust me, I'll give them plenty to balance it out. You have to remember, at the same time, Midnight is engaged in this incredibly intricate game of politics and stuff, where she's sleeping with every single. She's the kept woman of the most powerful man in town, best friends with the second most powerful one in town, and wanted by some of the more violent people. She's in a dangerous position. And that's why I'm putting a lot of danger at her. Yes. Thank you, Tahoe Biker. Saving my ass. Is Rourke head of Cecil Sec? There we go. We tone back the ships in chat, please, guys. Okay. So I think... Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Oh, really should have a question mark here. So, let's have a look. Who will be doing what? Cecil security. I think this is Rourke. Rourke picks a PC. That's going to be first. Point one. And we're going to see that in the beginning. At the beginning of the next session, I want to get all of the players in one place. So we'll probably find a way for this to happen. I think it's Rourke stakes out the PC's I don't know, home/life. Rourke gathers a posse. Once I know which one he's picked, I'm going to define these one. But yeah, so here we go. We'll have which PC will become the object of Rourke's attentions. There we go. That's suitably creepy and menacing. Someone else could answer Tahoe in the chat. But, oh, actually, no, never mind. First session's up on YouTube, Tahoe. If you scroll down to my panels, there is a link to the YouTube channel with the first session on it. And also, my little schedule's there. I think the next session is scheduled for this Wednesday at 9 PM GMT. So about Wednesday, an hour ago, we'd be starting. Okay, so threat 2. Threat 2 will be... We'll have Barker's jealousy. What will Barker be? Barker will be... Dun, 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 dun. Barker's just a mob. Mob. Here's impulse. I'm going to make a custom impulse for this guy. He wants Lux to himself. Doesn't want that creepy Stein, that weirdo nerd. Yeah, on this string. That weirdo nerd hanging off of the girl that is the object of his fancy. Okay, so this one may actually have exactly the same 6 to 9. But currently, it's going to be Barker and Dremmer, because I think Dremmer's going to be Barker's like lackey. Barker and Dremmer were the two guys who were out with what are their names? Lux and Stein when they were in the Barclays vault and found all those plants. Barker was the one who was waiting out there for them, was freezing cold. And, like, Lux literally basically punched him out of the side of her truck to go chase down the wolf. And this countdown is going to be... I think the first thing is Barker... There. That's going to be point 1. Barker confesses to Lux. That's his first move. He's going to be very forthright and he's going to tell Lux he likes her. And I think, regardless of what Lux says there, whether she says, or whether she's all over it, whether she's not, as long as Lux stays friends with Stein, it still advances. So, Barker and Dremmer No. Let's go question Stein. It's basically what are your intentions with this girl? And then it's going to be... They're going to try and find... Barker finds a way to turn people against Stein. That's going to be it. That's going to be his endgame. So he's going to try and turn the crowd against Stein. He's not going to go like Rourke does, where Rourke's going to walk into Cecil Sec and be like, yo, let's go fuck some people up. He's going to be like, hey, look what Stein did wrong. He sabotaged machines or whatever. Oh yeah, Barker's going to be this kind of doesn't take no for an answer kind of guy. And even if he does, even if Luck's like, yeah, cool, you seem alright, I'm going to get with you, he's still going to be annoyed that like this guy Stein is always hanging around with his girlfriend. There's nothing left in that glass. I don't know why I'm trying to drink it. Okay, cool. I don't have any other ideas for this one here right now, so I'm going to leave it. And we're going to do quickly one threat for my my Wintermute area. And if any of you remember, Wintermute is the creepy place that was found in the mind of the wolf with the human eyes. Oh, crap, I didn't turn off the grid. If you're doing this yourself, always remember when doing this part to turn off the grid, because the grid is shitty. It doesn't help. Whoop. Let's make that nice and long. Whoop. Okay, front. Back to objects and tokens. Oh, balls. Delete that. Copy. Okay. I might do a little bit of playing around with this off screen, but at the beginning of the next one of these. I'll do one of these in between every session, and I'll let you know all the things I'm changing, whatever new stuff I've got planned. So I've got some other ideas cooking around in here, especially around East Harrow. East Harrow's character is definitely going to come back, I just don't know how yet. Small world. Wintermute. Expresses. Being insane, being a little bit insane, I think helps. The dark future that this expresses. So I think that Wintermute is like a research facility. It's like this creepy little area run by like a kind of Dr. Frankenstein. And there's a bunch of scientists there trying to like perfect life. Dark Future Agenda. The extermination of lesser beings. These guys are gonna be like straight Nazis. Like just yeah, that's who they are. They're like eugenics obsessed. They're obviously creating creatures to try and optimize them in some way. Yeah, that's gonna be their thing. So, okay. Yes, so the description cast. We have the area, the lab Wintermute. We need a doctor. We need a doctor. I'm going to call him Dr. Tessia. Yep. Okay. And then I'm going to call another NPC who's going to be called Hurley. And I don't want to spoil Hurley too much yet, because I have an idea for Hurley. But I don't really have much stuff planned for him yet. So, this first bit is we're going to have the Wintermute labs. Oh, yeah, labs. And this is going to be the first one we've seen of this kind. This is going to be a landscape. Now, I'm torn. I'm torn between these two. This is either going to be a breeding pit where these crazy scientists are like capturing animals and like crossbreeding them, and like there's probably a lot of human experimentation going on to make crazy crap. Or it's going to be a prison designed to keep all their specimens in, and that's why the wolf is so unique, because it got out. I think we'll call it a breeding pit for now, because they are making an army. That's their plan. Breeding pit. The impulse. Generate badness. Description cast. The freaks of winter. The freaks of Wintermute. Dr. Tessia. Okay. What's the first step in this countdown? I think the first step in this countdown has got to be they want a kid. They need something. They're actually, I don't know yet. I'm not going to put anything on this countdown yet. I just know that's going to be a thing. What do the scientists? Let's go with researchers at Wintermute need. Because I don't know yet. They're missing something. They're missing. It could be like a machinist. Of like their creatures are physically too fucked up, and their technology isn't good enough to keep up with the like demands of it. Or maybe it's they need a powerful psychic like Tudor. Or maybe they need some kind of strange genetic combination bit. We'll see. I don't know yet. And the other one will be Dr. Tessia's Ascension. This guy, he's going to be one of our grotesques. And he's going to be a mindfucker. Absolutely. Actually, no, I don't think he is. What is he? He's a mutant. But he doesn't crave recompense or anything like that. He craves his impulse. Craves perfection. That's what he wants. He wants to be perfect. I don't want to know what you guys are chatting about there. I don't know exactly his plan yet, but I know this point on the timeline. Dr. Tessia ascends humanity. That's his goal. That's going to be 9. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. Dr. Tessia sends humanity. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Where are the PCs? No, sorry. Where are the researchers getting their specimens? Will any of the PCs agree with Dr. Tessia's ideals? Ingy, trust me, we'll find out. Self-experimentation? Not exactly. There's one more thing to do, which is to make a home front where I just will sort the rest of the NPCs. But I don't want to get into that right now because it's just busy work and you don't need to see that. But yes, I think we've got enough here for the moment that I've got enough ideas to start ticking over. So yeah, you'll see that some of this stuff will start to like crop up. Like now that I know that they need mutant like specimens, we're going to start noticing people going missing. Now that I know that Cecil's like desperately trying to get his hands on Parcher, we're going to notice a lot of like Parcher coming up, and like I think Parcher's probably going to start cropping up a bit. I don't know exactly how. Now that we know Sheriff is going to start, Sheriff and Rourke are going to be sniffing around the place. The Miasma Psychic, I'm going to have to put more stuff. I want to reorganize this front. I don't like the way I've set this up so far. We'll get to that. I'll probably sort this into a different front. This move into an Affliction for the Black Miasma, and do that. And then I have the actual goals of the Psychic controlling it. Another point. Absolutely, Ingy. Yes. Right. Last thing, before I go. How does one make a straw poll? I've never actually had to do this myself. Because what I want to do... Aha! Okay. Which stat? So, I am very quickly... I'm going to move this over here, so I'm going to be able to read what you guys are saying while I type this. But I'm going to set up a Reddit thread where you guys can ask me questions about the main campaign, about this bit, about whatever the hell you want related to this stuff. I'm also going to put at the top of that 4 straw polls. These 4 straw polls are going to be the ways I'm going to have in them the 5 different stats, and I'll put in definitions of the stats. Those will each be... I want you guys to vote and pick which stat you want to highlight for each character. And we have those, So that way you guys can actually decide, to some greater or lesser extent, how you want the players to play. If you want them to get really violent, vote hard. Like everyone has hard. That all they do is just go violent on people and just threaten people and shit. Oh, I don't want that one. I want this one. Let's put that back over here. Yeah, so... Where's my... Here it is. No, I want it to go up a bit. Yeah, actually, okay. So I'll do this. If you follow my Twitter, go follow my Twitter. I will have the thing set up there that you can cover out. Where the hell's my OBS? Yeah. So I'll set that up. I'll post a Reddit link to my Twitter after this. Twitter details down there. I'll chuck something up in the stream tomorrow to let you all know where it is. If you go there, you'll be able to ask me questions about all this stuff. If you've got any questions. Haven't got any commands up yet. I'll work on that, Hannah. Yeah, and I want you guys to vote because I want you guys to have a bit of input in how people play. If you want them to get violent, you vote hard. If you want them to be cool and collect under pressure, you vote cool. If all that you want is everyone to go crazy with their psychic bullshit, you vote weird. And that's what I want. Yeah, I shall disclaim my responsibility or my power of shaping that to you guys. And just the players and you guys will be able to do that. Yes. Go follow that Twitter. I'll get that link up shortly after this finishes. Before I go, Vote hot. Hot is great. Everyone loves hot. Midnight would Chip will love you guys if you vote hot. I will definitely get you that sheet. I should move that. Cool. Right. Yeah, so I've got like 10 more minutes. Kaj, careful. I like you. Don't push it. Yeah, so I've got 10 more minutes. So, does anybody have any particular questions about anything we've seen so far? Anything that I haven't explained thoroughly enough? Anything that didn't understand the game itself? Like, want to make sure you guys are able to follow along. Yeah, so 10 minutes. Hit me with any good questions you have. I am all ears. Push it real good. Nothing? No? Nope, we're singing Push It. Push it. Push it good. Push it. I'm good, Hannah, thank you. Oh yes, by the way, if you are new to the stream and you've been having a good time and you like all the stuff I'm doing, please do hit that follow button. It means a lot to me. If you haven't seen Snowocalypse Session 1, all of the VODs for it, everything so far is down below. The first, like, hour... I think the entire first video is character creation, if you want to skip over that. We actually start playing, I think, on the third video? Something like that. So, go check it out. Catch up, come back Wednesday, 9 o'clock, GMT, for the next installment. What have we got? How's life? Yeah, life is alright. I'm playing Apocalypse World and people care and are interested. I love it. I love it. I am single. The meaning of life is 42, but is actually contentment. I didn't have breakfast. Cecil, during the day, he sits there and he stares at me. My favourite cheese is none. Snowocalypse over Snowocalypse because Snowocalypse sounds better. Ketchup? I return you with mayonnaise. The correct answer to mayonnaise is no, by the way, because mayonnaise is the devil's food. And not the good kind of devil who's fun and plays chess with people for their souls, but the bad kind of devil who's just a dick. That is cool. You can also ask Siri to roll a d20 for you. It's glorious. I love it. Ah, dear. Alright. It's been fun, people. Do follow around. Yes, tomorrow we have a full day of streams, I believe. Let me... Oh, there's the interesting kind of devil who makes, you know, makes for fun stories. Let me open up my main stream, check my schedule. I think tomorrow we just have full streams. I'm thinking of playing some Rocket League in the afternoon stream with my dear James and probably Dylan if he's around. In the evening, I'll probably go back to Dark Souls. Ah, Dark Souls! Why? Why do you exist? And then, yeah, Tuesday, it'll be also normal. Wednesday's going to start a little early, just because I have stuff to do that afternoon, before the Snowocalypse. But yes, Snowocalypse then. So then on Thursday, I'll... Because I'm busy Thursday evening, so maybe I'll do... I might wait till Friday to do the post session. Also, here's the thing. If you come up with a good name for this show in general, like, that can swap between systems, isn't purely tied to the Snowocalypse, but a good role-playing show name, I don't know, I'll buy you a game worth £15 or less or something. It'll be... Yeah. I need a good name. So badly. And I'm getting desperate, because I'm so shit at names. There's many things I'm good at making up on the spot. Names are not one of them. I mean, if we have enough people around who actually have Rocket League, fucking get them all in. We'll have a big, like, 4v4. This can be great. Anywho, it's been a pleasure hanging out with you this evening. I hope you've enjoyed watching me poke and prod around all my fronts and prepare for awfulness. Fun times with Finn does not count, Kaj. Come on, come on, come on, come on. You're better than that. I think you're better than that. Please tell me you're better than that. Yeah. Stick around. It'll be good. Check my Twitter for the Reddit post. Bye all! There's too many tabs open on my screen. I don't know what to push. Uh-oh.